What is up, YouTube? And welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! House. Guys, today I'm bringing you probably one of the best rogue decks in the entire format. Yeah, you heard it here first. Definitely. Heroes is one of the premier rogue decks of the format. We've been able to see on live stream how amazing the new support for this strategy is. It is just absolutely absurd. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to be breaking down a deck profile for you guys, as well as 3 key combos if you want to start piloting this deck. Because believe me, this is one of the funnest decks you're going to be able to play with at locals or even between friends. Let's go ahead and break down the monsters, guys. It's pretty simple. Our E-Hero lineup, 1 copy of Elemental Hero Neos. You absolutely need this card now that Infernal Rage is just such a key part of our strategy. 3 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos. Again, Infernal Rage is the name of the game. You want to be able to summon that card, and it's going to be really hard to do that without normal summoning Stratos. A single copy of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. I think 1 is perfectly fine. You're usually toggling for this card with Wake Up Your Elemental Hero anyways, so being buried deep in the deck is exactly where you want it. And for the last Elemental Hero I run, I decided to run 1 Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. I think this card is important because of the draw power it brings to heroes. Heroes, of course, is a rogue strategy and it needs all the draw power it can muster. And of course, being searchable just puts it over the top. Guys, that is it. A very simple E-Hero lineup and probably just as standard of a Destiny Hero lineup. We have Destiny Hero Plasma, one of the best main deck boss monsters available to the strategy. It is a walking, talking skill drain, and it would probably be the best Destiny Hero ever printed. Man, if it wasn't for this card. Destiny Hero Malicious. If we could run 3, this deck would absolutely be bare minimum tier 2 and always be such a competent anti-meta threat. But of course, we can't really have Malicious at 3 because so many strategies benefit off that. So Konami decided they'd give us our very own 3rd Malicious, Destiny Hero Denier. This 2 tandem allows for so many insane and unfair plays. Specifically, this card right here, Destiny Hero Dark Angel. This absolutely craps on Kashtira. Being the best deck in the format, having such an easy counter to it makes this such a competent rogue strategy and such a sleeper pick when you're going to big tournaments. Guys, like I said, a very simple Destiny Hero package, and the same can be said for my Vision Hero engine. I do run 3 copies of Vision Hero Ferris. I've noticed that a couple of builds have been deciding to maybe cut back on this card, run 2, maybe even run 1. I really don't see the appeal in that. This is definitely one of the best starters the deck has. You always want to open it because you do need another hero in hand, so keeping that hand size large will usually get this effect to go off. Like I said, I don't see the appeal of running less than 3. I definitely recommend, if you guys are building a hero deck, to run this card at 3. It gives you super easy access to this card right here. The whole reason you're playing the Vision Hero strategy. 2 copies of Vision Hero Vion. Now, Infernal Rage is way too good. You gotta normal summon Stratos, but if you do have the option of normal summoning Vion, it's never a bad one, right? This gets you into your Destiny Hero engine by dumping them directly from deck to grave. It searches you polymerization, it gets your plays rolling. Either way, Vision Hero Vion is incredible. And I know this is mad controversial. I actually held this in my hand until I was done talking about Vion. 2 copies of Vision Hero Increase. Yes, I know. You up the number of bricks, you're gonna see more bricks. That's the way the game works. I'm really sorry about this, but unfortunately, you're gonna have to start playing 2 Increase. The 2 best decks in the room. 1 being Kashtira, and 2nd being Runic, both banished cards off the top of your deck. If they banish a single increase, the one increase you run in your deck off the top of your deck, you already lost before you started playing. You have to minimize that risk at all costs. And unfortunately, you're gonna have to bump up that increase. Guys, that's it for the monster count. Let's go ahead and jump into the spells. Our power spells. 3 A hero lives, by far and away the best power spell you have available to you. If not, it is this one right here, 3 copies of Fusion Destiny. It is a absolute blessing that both these cards are at 3. Konami was doing hero players a massive disservice because of the unfair things that these cards enable. Of course, a hero lives getting played in some couple of Manadium strategies, and back when Predaplant was legal, Fusion Destiny was super easily abusable. And 3 copies of Mass Change. Guys, this is so important. I know you guys saw the one Shadow Mist. It doesn't matter. Mass Change is what's really the important card. Not as much searching it, but hard opening it. You want to be able to dodge things like Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence that will just absolutely kill your entire turn. Now let's get into our fusion spells. 2 copies of Polymerization and 1 copy of Miracle Fusion. I know you guys heard me talk about increase. It is just as important to play 2 increase in this format as it is to play 2 Polymerization. Guys, what is the point of running 2 increase if you only play 1 Polymerization? If your Polymerization gets sniped off the top of your deck by Runic or Kashtira, then you might as well have not ran any increase. You might as well not have even have ran the Vision Hero engine. So of course, 2 copies of Polymerization is key to make this deck work. And Miracle Fusion, easily accessible, puts up big monsters like Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, absolutely mandatory for the strategy. Then we have a couple of one-ofs that, in my opinion, this deck kind of really doesn't function without these. You can swap these for maybe a playset of a Board Breaker, a playset of Hand Traps, but 1 copy of the Emergency Call to search for everything all the way up to the Vanilla Neos. It doesn't matter the level, as long as it's an Elemental Hero. Reinforcement of the Army to grab some of those starters, and Foolish Burial to get into those Destiny Hero plays. I think these 3 cards are absolutely mandatory whenever you're building a hero deck, but of course, if you're willing to play it a bit more high rolly, you can, like I said, swap these out for a playset of a Board Breaker or a playset of a Hand Trap. Your choice. My opinion, I'm not playing Hand Traps, but Drollen Lockbird kind of looks good here. Can't lie to you. Then, speaking of non-engine, we're running 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More and 3 copies of Book of Moon. I decided to go the Board Breaker route. That'll most likely change post-Duelist Nexus. We're gonna, of course, like I mentioned earlier, Drollen Lockbird is gonna be main decked. Things like Ash Blossom is gonna see a huge resurgence. So when that time comes, of course, I will edit the deck and I'll throw in some Hand Traps. But for now, I think the Board Breaker route is just key, man. Dark Ruler No More shuts down any combo heavy to mid-range deck, and Book of Moon craps on any sort of stall deck like Kashtira, Arise Heart Pass strategies. Those decks are just getting crapped on by Book of Moon. Not only that, like I mentioned earlier, Mass Change is important because of its defensive capabilities, and Book of Moon is right there with that. It provides a layer of defense against targeting, while also being able to set it and pass, so you have an extra layer of disruption. It's a Board Breaker. I mean, Book of Moon is huge this format. I highly recommend it, especially for your hero strategy. And the last card to make it a perfect 40 card deck, 1 single copy of Favorite Contact. Very, very easy to search with your new card, Infernal Rage Flame Wingman. And this allows for you to make cards like DPE on your opponent's turn, the Shining Neos Wingman on your opponent's turn. It's just absolutely insane. what this card provides. It is such a staple end board piece now. You guys were able to see it in the feature match. Or no, actually, I don't think he actually activated this. I think he attempted to search it and he sided it out. So we could have really seen this go off in that feature match. It would have been so awesome. But unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, guys. Let's go ahead and get into that extra deck. I do run a heavy link package, 2 copies of Extra Hero Cross Crusader, a copy of Infernal Divisor, a single copy of Wonder Driver, and a single copy of Dread Decimator. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, D-Barrier is a card, and it's a card that is just so easily toggled into in Labyrinth that you need a way to be able to OTK through really unfair cards like that. And that's why having such a large link package is so important. And of course, I'll break down their effects. Cross Crusader is your Destiny hero focused extra hero monster. This is the card that allows for those really crazy plays where you're looping cards like Denier and Malicious. It helps you search for cards like Dark Angel or Plasma because it searches for any hero just like Stratos. Infernal Divisor is for those plays when you're going for Infernal Wingman, right? This searches for the Vanilla Neos directly from the deck. Absolutely crucial for that combo. Wonder Driver is, in my opinion, just a extra deck staple for heroes. Having that ability to recycle things like Miracle Fusion, like Polymerization, or even Fusion Destiny is just absolutely absurd. And like I mentioned earlier, being able to play through D-Barrier is key. So Dread Decimator is unfortunately a bit of a mandatory part of the extra deck. I do understand that he's probably the monster you're gonna summon the least in terms of the extra deck, and you would want it to be another high impact fusion monster. But with Labyrinth having such a high stake in this meta, I think it's very important to be running a workaround to cards like D-Barrier. Our Masked Hero lineup: 1 copy of Masked Hero Blast, 1 copy of Masked Hero Darklaw, and a single copy of Masked Hero Acid. I did decide to play 1 of each of these. Now, Darklaw isn't as important as it was during the tier format. I don't necessarily think it's necessary to play 2. Yeah, it's nice to have it on your end board. It's not hard once per turn, so they would both go off once each. But at the end of the day, Darklaw isn't really the kind of boss monster we're aiming to make in this metagame, right? I mean, people are playing so easily through a Rise Heart that you really don't want to be making Darklaw in this format. But of course, its utility is there. It's incredibly important in matchups where the opponent is graveyard reliant. Of course, when they're graveyard reliant, this is an absolute win con, so it is necessary to play, but whether you play it at 1 or 2, that's your choice. Now, Masked Hero Blast, I do think is quite essential to this strategy, this one here, that for the very reason why you run Mass Change in the first place, you want to be able to dodge infinite permanence, you want to be able to dodge effect failure, so you need to run a win monster. This is probably the best one. The other one's effect isn't as relevant. I really like Blast's effect to disrupt the back row. Same thing with Masked Hero Acid. Like I said earlier, decks like Labyrinth have such a high stake in the meta that respecting back row decks, you never get blown out by them, right? All the people who complain, oh, back row decks are so powerful, this, that, and the third. Well, a lot of times in their side decks, you really won't see a lot of back row removal. They just kind of hope and pray they don't go against those strategies. We are not like that, right? We're gonna plan ahead. That's what gets us far in the metagame. Being a rogue strategy, you have to plan ahead. So in my opinion, back row removal is crucial. Our E-Hero lineup, it's pretty standard, I want to say. I had to cut Some of the fat cards like a Screwy Dowel, of course, are missing. I do want to find some space for them. Maybe Dread Decimator will be that spot. If I do find D-Barrier has a decline in play, but these are all the huge, high impact elemental hero monsters from left to right and then down to the middle. We have Sunrise, which is our Miracle Fusion Searcher. He is one of the key extenders, and you can tag him out super easy with our brand new fusion monster, Infernal Rage, right? This card is bonkers. This feels like one of those custom cards that you would see on Dueling Book back in the day. I mean, this card is absolutely absurd, adding an entire layer of disruption and follow-up, all while searching for cards like Favorite Contact. I mean, this card is absolutely absurd. This was the huge boost that Heroes needed. We got to see it in the feature match. It was absolutely so hype when he summoned that monster and was able to actually swing for game. And he actually had a huge amount of help with the very next fusion monster right next to it, Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. The announcer was so shocked to see this card, but all hero players know this is an absolute staple in this extra deck. Raigeki on legs is no joke. And if you mass change it out, you get a Raigeki and a Harpy's Feather Duster. What other deck has that kind of utility, right? This rogue deck is one of those decks where it rewards you heavily if you know what combo routes you're going to commit to. It's just so much fun to play. Definitely one of my highest recommendations of any deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Next, we have Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman, guys. This is one of the huge boss monsters we're fusion summoning out on your opponent's turn. Absolutely absurd the way this just crushes Kashtira. They play into it unknowingly because of all the attributes they play in their deck. You yourself play a crap ton of attributes, so you're always popping for minimum 2 cards, upwards of 5-6 cards. This card is absolutely bonkers. It gets beefy, huge. I mean, Miracle Fusion summoning it out. There's so many ways that Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman makes a huge impact. And last and certainly not least, wake up your Elemental Hero. When this card was announced, everyone knew how dangerous Heroes was going to be. Now the deck doesn't lose to Nibiru, right? We can offer our opponent the chance to respond before we end the main phase, and then in the end phase, activate our bread and butter, DPE, and then that will pop Wake Up Your Elemental Hero and get a whole new set of combos rolling in the end phase. I think it's absolutely incredible. And I do want to touch on the fact that I am running 2 copies of Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. I think this is single-handedly the best change I've made to this deck, guys, please. This is single-handedly the best change I've made to the deck. Not only do I not hard lose to Kashtira, and my locals is riddled with it. Not only do I not hard lose to Kashtira, but making a second DPE is real. Guys, making that second DPE is so real. If your first DPE gets kaiju'd or sent away off Zeus or Druid Swarm or anything like that, you can Favorite Contact the second DPE out, right? That one was special summoned, not fusion summoned. But when you get its effect to proc to special summon another monster during the standby phase of the next turn, you can do the other DPE, guys. It is absolutely absurd. This is hands down, like I said, the best change I've made to the deck, and the highest recommendation of any of the cards that I played today is, guys, consider the very, very real possibility of playing a second Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. All right, I'm not gonna waste too much of your time. I've already broke down the deck in detail. Now, guys, let's go into those combos. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hop into the combo portion of the video. For the first combo, I'm gonna be showing you a quick little 1-card combo with Fusion Destiny for you to bring out that Dark Angel lock, which is just so crucial in today's meta. Let's go ahead and activate Fusion Destiny, and we're gonna dump directly from our deck a copy of Malicious and a copy of Denier. We'll go ahead and Fusion Summon out a copy of DPE. Then here, we can go ahead and activate Malicious's effect, pay our cost. Then we can special summon a Malicious from the deck. We have a Destiny Hero on field, so we can activate Destiny Hero Denier's once per duel effect to special summon out to the field, activate his effect on field, grabbing that Malicious and putting it on the top of the deck. Then we can go ahead and link 2 off for Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader's effect on summon will go off, and we'll go ahead and target that Denier, special summoning it back. Then we can go ahead and Cross Crusader's effect, tributing Denier to search the deck. Grabbing ourselves a copy of the now very infamous Destiny Hero Dark Angel. There we go, boom. And now that that's resolved, we can go ahead and activate DPE's effect, popping itself and Cross Crusader, activating its effect in Grave to special summon a Destiny Hero during the next standby phase. And we have Dark Angel's summoning requirements live here. 3, 1, 2, 3 Destiny Heroes in Grave. So now when it goes to Grave, you can special summon it to your opponent's field, locking them out of spells and clogging their zones. Alright guys, combo number 2 is revolving around another power spell, a simple 1-card combo in A Hero Lives. We'll go ahead and pay half our life points to special summon directly from the deck any elemental hero that is level 4 or lower in Stratos. Activate Stratos' effect on field. We can search here. And keep in mind, there is no real restriction on Stratos' searching, so you can even search for a copy of Stratos. Famously, not once per turn, we can normal summon our elemental hero Stratos, activate its effect to search. Grab here a copy of Vision Hero Ferris. Okay, here we can link off our 2 monsters for a copy of Infernal Divisor. Activate Infernal Divisor's effect on summon. We can reveal Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman, and because Elemental Hero Neos is specifically listed on this card, we can grab that from our deck to hand. Just looking for that Vanilla Neos. There it goes. Alright guys, now we have another hero in hand. We can activate Vision Hero Ferris' effect, pay our cost, ditch to special, activate its effect on summon. And we can go ahead and put face up in our spell and trap zone, a copy of Increase. Activate Increase's effect, pay our cost, tribute a monster to special summon. Here we can activate its effect to special summon from the deck a copy of Vision Hero Vion. Vion's effect on summon will allow us to dump from deck to grave. Here we will get access to our Destiny Hero line by dumping Destiny Hero Malicious directly to the graveyard. We can activate here Vision Hero Vion's second effect, paying our cost to banish and search for a copy of the bread and butter of the strategy, Polymerization. Here, it's important to keep in mind that, guys, Extra Hero Infernal Divisor is unfortunately a Fiend monster, so we have to make this link play with these 2 warrior monsters. For Cross Crusader, activate Cross Crusader's effect on summon to special summon out that Malicious. Then we can tribute Malicious with Cross Crusader's effect to search the deck. We're going to grab a copy of Denier. Now we can activate Malicious' effect, pay our cost, banish it to special summon out another copy of Malicious. Now here, of course, we want to make some link plays. Let's go ahead and link these two off for a copy of Extra Hero Wonder Driver. Activate our copy of Polymerization. We'll be fusing our Destiny Hero Denier from hand and our Malicious on field for a copy of Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. That will proc Extra Hero Wonder Driver's mandatory effect. It'll target Polymerization and set it to the field. Alright, now Destiny Hero Denier has a once per duel effect where it can special summon itself out, activating its effect, targeting Malicious, and putting it at the top of the deck. Now here, we can go ahead and Polymerization 2 hero monsters with different attributes for a copy of Sunrise. Activate Sunrise's effect on summon, and we'll be able to search here. Now, you can, what I like to say, play around Nibiru. If you are worried about that, you can go for the Wake Up Your Elemental Hero line using Sunrise and a monster from Graveyard. But if you're not too worried about that card, and honestly, in this format, I wouldn't be, you can Miracle Fusion here using a Elemental Hero Neos from the Graveyard and a Elemental Hero Stratos from the Graveyard to make our brand new hero, Elemental Hero Flame Wingman Infernal Rage, activating its effect on summon. And here we can grab ourselves a copy of Favorite Contact, and this allows us to have access to cards like maybe even a DPE, or even cards like Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman, two huge boss monsters that are huge interruption on your opponent's turn. Alright guys, the last combo I'm going to leave you with is one of the bread and butter combos of heroes. One copy of Stratos and one copy of Ferris is all you need to put up an absolutely insane board. Let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to go ahead and summon our copy of Stratos and search the deck. I like to go ahead and get access to our Destiny Hero line here. So I'm going to search for a copy of Destiny Hero Malicious. Activate Ferris' effect in hand, pay our cost, pitch, special, effect on summon, and we can put face up in the spell and trap zone, a copy of Vision Hero Increase. Activate Vision Hero Increase's effect, pay our cost, tribute to special, activate his effect on summon to special summon. We can special summon out our copy of Vision Hero Vion, whose effect on summon will allow us to dump directly from deck to grave. We want to go ahead and complete that DPE fusion. So we're going to go ahead and send the second best material, Destiny Hero Denier. Activate Vion's effect here, banishing Ferris to search the deck, and we will grab a copy of Polymerization. Here we want to go ahead and link summon. Link these two for a copy of Extra Hero Infernal Divisor, whose effect on summon will reveal a copy of Shining Neos Wingman, so we can search for that vanilla Neos. Here, we can go ahead and activate our Polymerization, fusing two elemental heroes with different attributes for a copy of Infernal Rage, whose effect on summon will allow us to search the deck. Grabbing a copy of Favorite Contact, which is huge interruption on your opponent's turn. And this is why it's so important to make it with that vanilla monster. We can go ahead and tag it out to special summon out a copy of Elemental Hero Sunrise, whose effect on summon will allow us to search the deck for a copy of Miracle Fusion. Here, you want to go ahead and link these two monsters off for a copy of Extra Hero Wonder Driver. That way we can get back our copy of Poly. And we'll do that by banishing a copy of Malicious as cost, and grab the other Malicious from deck. Now Wonder Driver's mandatory effect will target Polymerization and grave and reset it to our field. Go ahead and link these two off for a copy of Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader's effect on summon, targeting Denier, to special it back. Effect on summon, targeting the malicious, putting it back on the top of the deck. Now we can malicious to special it out. Then we can cross Crusader's effect, tributing our denier. And that will give us access to our Destiny Hero Dark Angel. Now Destiny Hero Denier does have a once per duel effect that we can activate here to special it back. Then activate our copy of Polymerization, using these two for a copy of DPE. And here, Miracle Fusion is always a great option. Getting rid of that Sunrise, or to be honest, I do prefer to do the Infernal Rage and the Neos when I'm making Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, because Favorite Contact is then shuffling back from the Banish Zone, which I think is just a lot more value. Alright, now here, we're going to want to activate DPE's effect, popping itself, and Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. Wake Up Your Elemental Hero is a mandatory effect, so we'll have to go on chain 1, and then DPE's effect will go on chain 2 to special summon a Destiny Hero during the standby phase of the next turn. Now, we'll resolve Wake Up Your Elemental Hero on chain 1 to special out a copy of Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist's effect on summon, we'll search for a copy of Mass Change. Then here, I like to specifically Mass Change off the Cross Crusader, and you guys will see why. Bringing out that Dark Law. Not only do you get the ability to, when you pass to on your opponent's turn, if Shadow Mist goes to grave, it'll proc to search, and on top of that, when you Dark Angel, send it to grave, and special summon it to your opponent's side of the field, you won't have a link monster to have them get easy access to just being able to crash it. That is just way too easy for them. And of course, in the standby phase, DPE will return, and you have quite the impressive board on just 2 cards. This deck is absolutely bonkers. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for checking back in with Yu-Gi-Oh! House. If Heroes is your favorite deck, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Guys, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing us, and peace.